You kissed me that would 뭐지? You kissed me that that would end this conversation, and it's so wrong. You kissed me. Only reason you made love to me. You kissed me as though that would. You kissed me that. You kissed me that. You kissed me as though that would end this conversation. You kissed me as though that would end this conversation. You kissed me as though that would end this conversation. End this conversation. You kissed me as though that would end this conversation. You kissed me as though that would end this. You kissed me as though that would end this conversation. You kissed me as though that would end this conversation. You kissed me as though that would end this conversation. End this conversation. You kissed me as though that would end this conversation. You kissed me as though that would end this. They're the best ones I've ever gotten. 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 They're stunning. They're the best ones I've ever gotten. They're the best ones I've ever gotten. 네, 셀러. 어디에 가냐? 야. 셀러. 잠깐만. What's that supposed to mean? 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 Since Dad left, if there's been a mother around here, it's been me. What's that supposed to mean? You kissed me. You kissed me. That would. You kissed me as though. You kissed me as though that would end this conversation. You kissed me that though. You kissed me as 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 though that would end this conversation. Oh shit. You kissed me as though that. You kissed me that would end this conversation. 반지하겠네 진짜. 어떻게 되지? You kissed me. You kissed me. That would. You kissed me as though. You kissed me as though that would end this conversation. You kissed me that though. That would end this conversation, and it's so wrong. So wrong. You kissed me as though that would end this conversation. You kissed me as though that. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. I'm really grateful for everything you're doing for me. I'm really grateful for everything you're doing for me. I really am grateful for everything you're doing for me. I'm really grateful for everything you're doing for me. Grateful for everything. I really am grateful for everything you're doing for me. I'm really grateful for everything you're doing for me. I wouldn't need your gratitude. You're only here because you're children. I really am grateful for everything you're doing for me. Dad's being released today. He's got to have a place to recuperate. Well, then he can go to a motel because he's not allowed back in my house. I thought you two were getting along. 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 I thought you two were getting along.
I thought you two were getting along. What happened? I'm raising your children.
I am just trying to move on with my life.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. 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 There's nothing to be ashamed of.
It is nothing to be ashamed of.
It is nothing to be ashamed of.
I tell you, see to my chest.
He let me know how much he paid for his lives in the convertible.
Let's just rock it into the conversation. Look, just work it into the conversation. Just work it into the conversation. Look, just work it into the conversation. Just work it into the conversation. Work it into the conversation. You always say the nicest things. 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 You always say the nicest things.
Well, it's
You always say the nicest things. I would have to say that as an L. Which go where? Which goes where? Which goes where? Which goes where? 아 진짜 덥다. It was something like it from Arnold movie. 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 It was something like it from Arnold movie.
it was like something from an old
Also
movie
like it from
where
Arnold
the
movie.
sailor sees the girl.
Why don't you take it outside? Why don't you take it outside, okay? 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 Why don't you take it outside, okay?
We've been dating for 4 months, and I think that's too soon to meet her parents.
This is like a level 3 stuff or level 2. Can I get a ruling? This is like a level 3 stuff or level 2. Can I get a ruling?
That's like level 3 stuff. We're at level 2. Can I get a ruling?
I'm excited to meet them too, but not tonight. It's just too soon.
I'm excited to meet them too, but tonight it's just too soon. Seriously, what the hell's going on? Exciting.
Hardly anyone who works for me, hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works for me
Anybody
is
who
where
works for
they
me is where
usually
they usually are.
are.
Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are.
Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works. Yeah. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they. 아유 젠장. 아유. Hardly anybody who works for me is 성격만 나빠진 것 같아요. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. Hardly anybody who works. Yeah. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are. 내가 빨리 말했어. Hardly anybody who works for me is where they. 아유 젠장. This is my kingdom as far as I can see. This is my kingdom as far as I can see.
This is my kingdom as far as I can see. This is my kingdom.
This is my kingdom as far as I can see.
As far as
This is my kingdom as far as I can see. So this is my kingdom as far as I can see.
This is my kingdom as far as I can see. This is my kingdom as far as I can see.
This is my kingdom as far as I can see.
As far as the eye can see. So this is my kingdom, as far as the eye can see.
As far as I can see. Was it anything to wanted to add to the agenda? Was there anything you wanted to add to the agenda?
Okay, was there anything you wanted to add to the agenda?
Was there anything you wanted to add? Was there anything you wanted to add to the agenda? What?
Was there anything you wanted to add to the agenda? Well, that would end this conversation, and it's so long.
Hey, am I in trouble? I haven't done anything wrong.
오늘 복습만 왔구나. 이 뭐야 이게? 0이 없잖아. 0이 없어. 0 책갈피에 꽂아둔. 이게 안 좋은 것 같은데? 0